expect to see. If you go into this event knowing what to look for, you'll be able to sit back and enjoy this rare sight without questions running around your brain or your eyes not really knowing where to look. First, of course, we start off with a partial solar eclipse, and this is as the moon slowly starts to creep in on the sun. And when the moon covers up half of the sun's light, you'll be able to start to feel the temperatures dropping. The sky will also start to change color. It's going to look more like a sunrise and a sunset. And also, pay attention to the shadows. You're going to be able to see shadow bands, is what we call them, rippling along flat surfaces as the sun looks like a crescent is when that's going to begin. And this is due to turbulence in the atmosphere interacting with light waves. So check that out. And also, if you're near trees, look at the shadows of the leaves and branches as the light pushes through those. You can see right here, there are a whole bunch of eclipsed shadows that you're going to be able to see. It's going to be fantastic. And then, of course, the main event, totality, along a 70-mile wide path coast to coast. And this is when you can safely take off your solar eclipse glasses and you'll be able to see the night sky in the middle of the day. Plants and animals are going to react to this, and researchers are definitely taking advantage of that situation to learn more. And also, you'll be able to see bright stars and planets. It's going to be visible with the naked eye. In fact, constellations that are usually only visible on a winter's night are going to be visible on a summer afternoon. And speaking of that, you'll also be able to see some planets, as I mentioned. In fact, you'll be able to see Jupiter over here just to the east here, the southeast of the eclipse. And also, a little bit closer to the eclipse happening, you'll be able to see Mercury, also Mars back there just to the northwest, and Venus over there too. And actually Venus and Jupiter here, they're going to be the brightest stars that you should be able to see, at least when we're talking about the planets. Now, we talk about what you're going to be seeing actually around the eclipse when it's happening. The first thing we got to talk about here is the chromosphere. And that's a red ring that's right around the sun. And it's the layer of the atmosphere that's just above the surface of the sun. And then moments later, you're going to be able to see the corona. It's going to burst into action. And this is white light that's going to be glowing around the sun. And actually, it's the majority of the sun's atmosphere, and it can only be seen during a total solar eclipse because the sun's light is too bright to see it regularly. This is also some of the research that NASA intends to do. The sun's surface is actually only 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit, but the corona, its atmosphere, is measured in the millions of degrees. Think about that. That's like the opposite of a stove burner. What if the air around a burner was 200 times hotter than the burner itself? Kind of interesting to think about. NASA hopes to find out why that is. And also, just as totality starts to end, you're going to start to see a burst of light right on the northwest corner, the top and right corner of the eclipse. And we call that the diamond ring effect. You can kind of see, looks a bit more like a diamond ring there, right when that burst of light comes out. And also, you'll also be able to see the Bailey's beads is what we call it. It's described as pearls right around the sun's surface. And this is actually the sun's light trying to reach the Earth's surface through mountains and craters along the moon's surface. So interesting there. You'll be able to see that too, just as totality starts to end. And then, of course, we head back into the partial eclipse. You'll start to feel the temperatures warming back up, and you'll see the eclipse shadows once again. And then it's all over. The entire process only taking about 2.5 hours. Don't blink. Now, technically, you can view the diamond ring effect and Bailey's beads at the beginning and the end of totality. However, I highly recommend choosing the end of totality, because if you take off your solar glasses too soon, the bright light hitting your eyes might actually hinder you from viewing the totality. For more on eclipse safety, I went to an expert, Dr. Frederick Fraunfelder, the director of ophthalmology at MU Health. Why can't you look directly into the sun and be okay?
So the sun burns the very important layer of the retina called the macula. Damaging the cones in your macula can permanently damage your vision by burning them with direct light from the sun.
During a partial eclipse, you're still looking at the sun's direct light. That's where these special solar eclipse glasses come into play. What do these eclipse glasses do that a regular sunglasses won't do?
So yeah, the eclipse glasses are really, like if you put these on right now, you would struggle even seeing light in this room because they block out most of the harmful rays that could occur from light. And so they will block out UVA, UVB, infrared light, and also intense visual light.
And if you're wondering what it might look like during totality, here's a glimpse. As you can see, it's nighttime with about the same amount of light as the new moon. You can see the corona around the sun, stars, planets, the whole night sky. You know when you look at something really bright and then you look away, but you still see a darker image of that object blocking your view? If you take off your solar glasses too early, you might miss the eclipse.
We call that an after image, and that is neural signals to your brain still firing after the light's already stimulated the rods and the cones. And after images is a good way to explain is you sort of see purple or red after you've stared into a bright light.
No matter how you view the eclipse, make sure that you have a plan and that you do it safely. You only have a couple minutes to enjoy it, and then it's a memory to last a lifetime. Also of note, NASA says unapproved and unsafe solar eclipse glasses are being circulated. To make sure that you have regulation-approved glasses, you should have ISO 12312-2 printed on them. Also, check the manufacturer. Only 4 have been approved for meeting guidelines. Those are American Paper Optics, Rainbow Symphony, Thousand Oaks Optical, and TSE 17. Now, if you plan to view the solar eclipse through any sort of magnification device, such as binoculars, you want to make sure that you have a solar filter in front of the glass. If you were to view the sun through your binoculars and then through your solar eclipse glasses like this, you would do a lot of damage to your eyes. You know how if you put a magnifying glass over the sun along with some ants and it burns the ants, that could happen to your eye. You don't want that to happen, so make sure that you have the proper solar filters over any sort of magnification. Also, if you're still looking for some of these glasses, there are a few stores still selling them, of course. The Mizzou store has them for $1.50, and some of the proceeds from that go back to the astronomy department. Hy-Vee and Target are also some of the others that are selling them for a couple dollars.